Okay, gang, this is Fabulous Friday and truly fabulous because we're starting today. And all of next week, you will get to hear from these kind of people, the people that were at the Transformation University graduation ceremony. Now, in our family here, there are a bunch that qualify that just couldn't make that happen, right? Either cost or time or something going on. But since you guys made it there, and I have John and Jill here today, you guys can give them just a little feel of what that was like. And whatever you say is great. But look at here. John's holding up his belt and his name is even engraved on it, right? Oh, cool. So cool. And so I do have some photos, but you tell me whenever you want me to stick that up there, Jill. I can stick your photos you sent me as well. But we're going to let the beauty go first. What can I say? So, Jill,
As it should be.
thank you so much because you guys all actually were so like, oh, sure, we'll come on. I love these people. So, tell us a little bit about what you think people would want to know about this journey you just did.
Uh, Pam, thank you for having us on. This is pretty great. You're the biggest cheerleader, and I will say that I was sad that you were not there so that I could meet you in person. And thank you personally for everything that you've done for me, everything you've done for this 55 and up group. So I'm gonna try not to cry today. So
Yeah,
that was it.
well,
That's it.
Jill.
So sorry. I the biggest word, like I did take notes, so I won't ramble so much. But I think one of the biggest things that the big word that I wrote on my paper here was hope. Um, just seeing an amazing future for myself.
Yeah.
Just with anything that happens, like meeting Dennis and Alice and Brad and some other members of this group, and just watching them and being there was really just it really was just an honor to be there and to see them do their thing and do what they could do, you know. So yeah, that was hope, you know. You see it was right there in your face. So good. The it anything specifically like from the graduation itself and all of just kind of the events, it just felt like family and fun and learning, affirmation, support. You know, I know that to you, and I know this group really, you know, we're not a support group, but you are, you know, but it is, you know, because everybody is there. The sharing, the stories, and the learning. Honestly, the learning was really important for this whole thing. And graduation weekend was exhausting, but in the best way possible. I mean, I did 4 workouts Saturday. Like,
Oh,
never. I wouldn't do that here. Like, I wouldn't do that at home.
yeah.
So,
Ah,
yeah.
oh, yeah. And they had panels where they
They
were interviewing people
they
and,
did. They
and food.
Yes, they had some panels. There was some food. That was a surprise. Honestly, that was a little surprise. So, yeah, there was food. There was fun. There was laughter. There were tears. There was a lot of sweat.
Yeah. Did I hear you guys played a game too, if I remember right? Some game.
Yes. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Did you make
Our
us 55 plusers proud? Did you guys do well in the game?
they had I can't, were we? I don't think we were on the. Were we on the same team?
I don't remember.
I don't.
I was on Team Fugget.
Me too. Yeah, we were. We were. There's shout out
To
to uh
Alan.
to Alan for that. That's his last name. So
F U
it
F
was great.
U G I T T.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes,
We're not cussing, folks. We're
we
not
aren't.
cussing. It just sounds like we are.
We are. It's
yeah,
true.
the best last name to do that with, I guess.
It was Pictionary, so it was a little challenging. And afterward, I honestly, I had one of the easy, like looking at it, because I don't know very much about the person that I was supposed to be drawing. I was like, I panicked. I really panicked. And then later, I heard Nadia after I was done. She was like, a teddy bear. I was like, I just got caught up in the motion. Got caught up in the oh my gosh, I don't want to screw up for everybody, and then I totally screwed up for everybody. But which actually leads me into some big takeaways, which just it was a no judgment zone. I mean, this whole thing is a no judgment zone, but it was really you could feel it in the room. Like, you can feel it on the panels, you can feel it talking to people, through their posts and things, but you could, like, in your bones feel that. And you did what you could do, and you stayed with yourself. If you couldn't do it, that's cool. It was just so heartwarming, the whole thing. And you really, in all honesty, like, I think the other biggest thing too is that you could really feel that everyone involved in DDPY at the Performance Center, top to bottom, you could feel that they're truly rooting for you to be the best you.
Wow.
You know it because you hear that a lot, but again, you felt it. I felt it in my core that they meant that. And you can tell when people are just saying something to you.
Oh, for sure.
And they really really mean it. So yeah.
Because the first time I went to the PC Performance Center, I told my husband afterwards, it feels like I was going home, and yet I'd never been there before, but it felt like home. And did you feel that too, Jill? It's like you always belonged there, even though you're there for the first graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you really did. Just everyone there welcoming and stuff. Now, it's certainly helpful that a lot of us throughout that first 5 months of TU, like, we had the Zooms, we had the Facebook Lives and stuff. So you kind of start to get to know a couple of people, and so at first you kind of pick out your people who I know you, I've seen, and then it just everybody together kind of just made it even better.
I definitely want to share these photos that you give it. Tell us what these photos mean to you.
I think John took the one on the bottom. I'm not sure.
I might have.
I think you took the one on the lower right. So the big one of me standing outside, that is me standing under Candy doing in the heavy metal world, the metal horns, the rock and roll symbol. And that was the pictures that Steve Yu was taking for yourself. And in it, I felt strong. I think the entire world of Candy, and she's literally a hero. I watched her story from when it started, and I felt really strong in that photo. And I don't typically feel that. I don't.
And then, for all of you that don't know, outside the Performance Center on the main road there, this is what you're looking at, this building. And what you're seeing right there above Jill is actually Candy's shoe on one side. Right on the left is her beginning. So on the side of that building, you guys, is a life-size Candy before and Candy after, right? And Arthur's up there, others are up there too, but pretty cool you did that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and so the bottom right corner, clearly you were on speaking. And did they have you share a certain topic, or?
They did. They asked if I would share kind of my story and my journey through the first TU. And because I had dubbed it already a weekend of yeses, I said yes before I thought about it. And so yeah, that's a a funny picture. And what that part reminded me of the most is that everyone has a different story, and not to diminish the one that you have. Even even if in your mind your story doesn't seem as wonderful, or so, so many words to insert, if you just don't feel like your story measures up to something else.
Yeah.
And so because every story is going to help someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said that before, Pam. Every single story is going to touch someone. We are all a little bit, we're all different, and we all have a different way there. Even if we've had like the same injury or something, we all have a path on how it got there, how we got to where we are. And those two ladies are like, they're fierce, man. They just
they are.
they just try to call you out and in a good, positive way. And they, they want you to feel comfortable, and they want you to be your best. And so
because Candy and Nadia really have been the heartbeat of this, right? Obviously, Steve oversees everything and comes on as well, but he really entrusted the whole TU journey to these two women, and they rose up unbelievable, right? And they're continuing.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But I also love the top right photo of you with Dallas.
Yes, that was getting the diploma and actually doing the graduation. And then he took, he did the diamond with everybody that was there. I couldn't decide if it was going to be, I was going to put that picture or the one I won the only prize that was given out. I couldn't believe it.
I have to tell you, so I'm watching it live, of course, and then they call out your name. I'm like, what are the odds? One of them in our 55 plus family is the one that won the prize. So, I couldn't tell what it was, though. What is it actually?
It's a Funko Pop of Dallas, of Diamond Dallas Page.
So like a bobblehead, kind of? Is that what
it's
you
just
call it?
It's a little character.
Yeah.
Yeah, little character. He's doing the diamond cutter right there. I'll never take it out of the box. He signed it.
And John has one too.
I have a Dude Love one, so I don't have diamonds, but I do have a Dude Love, and they're just kind of weird looking characters, but
Are they kind of a bobblehead though? If they were out of the box, would their heads bobble or no?
I don't think so. I don't think this one.
So.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. But it was really funny because they said 3 numbers at first. He said like number 20, and nobody said anything. He was like, oh, that's wrong. And then I heard him say 5, and it was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I hear 51, and I was like, oh, that's me, which I couldn't believe.
I took a shot right away. I sent it to your messenger like instantly because I'm like, amazing. So
I did. It was really great. So
funny.
But yeah, the whole experience was definitely one. It was worth it. Yeah. It was really worth it. And if you can make it.
You had never been to the performance.
Never. I never really thought that I ever would either. Just doing DDPY at home. I mean, like that's not something,
Yeah.
Like maybe if I'm traveling to Atlanta for a show or something, maybe, oh, okay, we'll see if that's possible. But just never really thought it would be possible.
So you're definitely representing the ones that never actually thought of even going anyway. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we have the other extreme, which is John, and you've been there multiple times, right, John? You're kind of like the historical part of this panel, right?
Yeah. 2017 Transformation Summit was my first time there.
Wow.
My story had made enough of a stink where I got somebody's attention, and they invited me to be a part of it, and so I got to join a lot of other great stories that were coming out back then. Many of them I believe are members of the group. I think of people like Jack Horntillo, of Farron Tebow, and my memory's escaping me there's so many names I could think of, but I don't know who all's in the group. But anyway, yeah, so I was a part of that. Neck spasms kind of took me out of the ball game at the end of 2017 into 2018. Couldn't find my rhythm, sputtered, stopped, started, never got back into it. The pandemic hit. Well, and then forget any of that. Tried again in 2022. I had a dear friend take their life, and that completely derailed me. And I just floundered for the longest time. Y'all have heard me talk about this on previous panels. I left a job about a year ago due to mental health, just complete destroyed, was gone. Working at where I did just took me out of the ball game. I have an update on something though, and I am going to share it first here. I put an application in for a part-time thing just to start getting my feet wet. And so hopefully next week I can actually start working at a workplace again and try and get my feet back into things. So that is something to start with. So hopefully this will be something that I think will be a good fit for me, I hope.
Oh,
Maybe we'll see if it goes up from part-time to full-time. So I want to lead off with that because I've talked about that on a few times here, and
yeah.
I've littered my posts with that. So that I just want to make that kind of an official thing. So
Yeah.
You could always take a photo first day at work for us.
I guess I could. But yeah, so really the only people aside from Pat on staff, and I mean obviously Dallas and Yoga Doc, that would have been there from that early time would have been the Fenmores.
Yeah.
Obviously they are not quite to the 55 plus yet, but give them time.
Ah,
He will weasel his way in here. I know George. He will.
ah.
Um, George is a good bud, good
You
brother, and
Since you
I'm
said that,
very
I
thankful.
got since you said that, I gotta share this because I think this is so cool. Hold on, let me put it down or stop. So I said, can you send me a few photos? You send me one with Yoga Doc in the top right corner.
Yes.
Those of you that don't know Yoga Doc, you need to look further in your app because there's a whole set of workouts. I mean, like he's like iconic in here.
Yep.
And I see John gave me a photo of him. I'm like, John, you act like you're BFFs or something. And on the lower photo was, in fact, that's George Fenmore.
That is George Fenmore.
Yep, they're outside the actual entrance that you go on into the wonderful world of DDPY, and they're
Yep.
outside there. It's so cool. I love these photos, John. Yeah.
And of course, I had to do the diamond photo as well. But yeah, I mean, of course, for all of you who don't know, Yoga Doc is pretty much the co-conspirator behind DDPY,
Yes.
behind Kimberly and Dallas when they first got going, and then Yoga Doc got into it. Um, with Fenmore, he when he got his um, certification to be an instructor, he went down to the PC, and I decided, hey, wow, I could actually go because and Jill, you'll love this. Hey, Metallica's playing at the ball field. And I never had a chance to see Metallica before, believe it or not. So I actually went to it was like the night before he was gonna get there that night. So I went to the concert, got there, waited at the hotel, and he showed up. Next, I got a few hours sleep. We went to the thing and we hung out, and I got to be a part of him kind of doing something along that line. And we stayed good friends. We kind of drifted a little bit, but I think this one we kind of really reignited that. But I want to also give notice to the Walden Strong t-shirt.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see that,
yeah.
but on
What
that shirt, but so the story behind that's for Hayden.
is it?
That's for Hayden about 6 years ago when Laura passed away.
Oh, gee.
And if for those of you who are
Right.
not familiar with Hayden's story with his first wife Laura, it's a long and deep story, but Laura lost her life a very aggressive breast cancer,
Right.
and they had one miscarriage and a baby that lived about 3 weeks, but the baby had a very serious heart defect, and unfortunately the baby passed away. And she discovered she had breast cancer during that second pregnancy.
Gee.
So a lot of stuff, long story for all those who do not know that. It's worth looking into. But yeah, My feeling with this whole thing was because I've had so much crap going on in my personal life, I almost really didn't want to celebrate it.
Oh,
And my wife was really trying to convince me of it, even in the midst of what we've been kind of dealing with. But it was when I got the belt, I think, yeah. But then I still kind of was feeling down on myself. Um, then some stuff happened before the graduation. I wasn't really, and I really didn't kind of want to go through with it. But I once I put that belt on, it was like,
ah,
it's like the wrestler about to, when they once they hear their name called, they go from John Clauser to Johnny Metal. So it was the transformation there hit,
you have the belt right
and
there too, right?
I had to wear it out. So I thought, why not? And then, of course,
I know.
getting the certificate, that's a big deal. So
Very big deal.
and I felt bad because I didn't take part in a lot of the Zooms and a lot of the lives that were going on during Transformation University. So I really didn't know a whole lot of people. And because I was in such an uncelebratory mood for so long, it took me a little while to want to really talk to people. And,
Sure.
but the ice finally broke at Dallas's workout on Thursday because sadly, after his workout was done and he was just talking to us, we clicked off the app. All of us wrestling fans, our phones were being blown up because we lost one of the greatest names of all time.
Yes.
And that hit a lot of us very hard. It hit me hard. I, Alan was next to me, Alan, and I just showed it up to him like, you got to be kidding me. I was hoping and praying nobody was going to say anything to Dallas while he was on stage. And thank God nobody did.
Yeah.
Paige was able to pull him off pretty quick and got
Good
him to the
girl.
back because I would have hated for him to have learned
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
So that really opened up the gateway to start talking to people a little bit more because we had another thing in common.
Yeah.
Us wrestling fans could mourn the passing of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So the juju of that room that is so special and the PC has so much warm juju, it amplified even more because now we're coming together to mourn
Yeah.
and remember the life of Hulk Hogan. So yeah, there's something extremely special about that room. But the only thing I'll say about Dallas's workout, 2 minute squats suck.
I did not do a Dallas workout over the weekend.
Oh,
So
yeah, I did on Thursday. Yeah, that 2 minute squat sucked. But doggone it, I'm gonna start doing them. So
It's so
anyway,
great. It's so great. Oh my word. And so when your belt arrived at your home though, right? Or did you?
yeah, I got the belt at home.
Okay. Was that pretty cool when it arrived? Just
I
knowing
did a
that
I did a special unboxing video on my YouTube channel called My Music Corner. So I'm gonna give myself a free plug,
good.
and I just did that, and I had my wife put it on behind me, strap it on, and you know, my room's not big enough for me to do like the champ is here kind of move, but I was able to at least wear it on. I unboxed it and showed it off, and then I took some pictures with it later, and then yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think more people that were there too said, you know what? I should have got a belt after all. So I think it will get it. You did too, Jill.
I should have. My husband's kind of mad at me that I didn't do that.
That
So
is so funny. But you can at any time, right? At any time you can still because you
yeah.
graduate, they will allow you to continue to get it whenever that fits into your pocketbook,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
And
Yeah,
it
they're
kind of
not
goes
they're not cheap, but boy, I'll tell you what, they are pretty sweet.
for me, it goes with the story that I mean, money, but it was the story that I was telling myself, like I felt like at the end, like I didn't really deserve to get a belt, and that's
I
the
think we're
story,
all like that, though. I think we're all like that,
yeah. It's
honestly.
the story up here,
Yeah.
and that's kind of moving forward is the story, I want to work on to not always listen to the story that I'm telling myself,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's powerful. Well, I am so thrilled that you guys shared this, your journey with us. And just even now that we're moving into second semester, people can still totally get registered for second semester, even though it's a month later. So they'll get in 4 months, but they could still get enough story in 4 months, enough breakthrough. Because Brad had 3 months, he lost 60 pounds. And our Matthew, is that Matthews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. He started with only 3 months in that semester, last semester, and did that. So it isn't about, if they're hearing this and they're knowing this might be something I'd like to be a part of, this is still time. Matter of fact, I'll make sure and even put the registration link in here so that when you see both John and Jill's story, you can still go over and get registered for second semester. And I'm believing, you guys, this, I'm believing that we're going to have even more 55 plusers hit the full graduation numbers. Whether they can all go to the PC or not, that's almost more of a money and time thing. But it's really great how many of us in there really did do it. And I'm so proud of you guys. So any last words before we hang up this call, gang?
One other thing that I was going to say was what was really great, not just Transformation University does it for you yourself. And the other thing about being there kind of together was to be able to try and use that confidence and that faith that other people have in you and their stories to push yourself further.
Yeah.
That's kind of my goal now, is to use that confidence that other people seem to pluck out and share.
Wow, so. that one gave me goose pimples, Jill. Oh my word. What about you, John? Any last craziness you want to share with us? Because you're pretty fun.
Yeah, gosh. I mean, I don't know how I can follow that up. That was actually I hadn't really thought of any like final words, but it was I think the thing for me is if you love the community, look forward to thinking about how many of those people you could actually meet in person one day.
Yes.
And especially at a setting like the PC or wherever they have to hold it the next year or the next time, because if that class doubles, there ain't gonna be any way they can have that many people in there.
Yeah.
If you think people like a Dennis Detweiler, like a Brad Matthews, like Alice, and so many others. If you thought their stories were inspiring, once you see them, and then like with Jill, you get to hear more of her story, at the PC, and you get to meet them and you hear more of their stories. Mm-hmm. If you walk away from that place uninspired, you have no heart. Yeah. That's all. I mean, think about what this community is like online, but then think about what they are like when you get to see them in person, because you will meet some friends for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just one other shout out to Alice and to the people, because she had some medical emergency. I did not hear what it was. I did not inquire. Yeah. But people from the group stayed with her at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely a big it felt like a big family. And so just literally having her there and her banana she made for Steve.
That was amazing.
The first time she showed it to me, and she had her son holding it, a screenshot. And look what I'm going to bring. I'm like, okay, I wonder where Steve's going to put that exactly. Yeah. But it became almost like it was your team mascot for the spring graduation group. The way it was flying around the room, I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah. I think that was the only thing we didn't do with it, was have it crowd surf.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That final takeaway is just, and just then thinking about Alice and being there and just doing everything that she could do to get herself there, to tell her, to switch her story in her brain. I'm going to cry now. For her to switch her story in her brain and to get in that car and to drive those 5 hours to be there, even, and then have a thing where she really could not work out, but she participated as best she could, even doubly inspiring than all of the other, then it just kind of culminated everything together, just that one moment in time. So,
Well, they'll hear from Alice too. Wellness
yeah.
Wednesday. So Wednesday,
Awesome.
Alice is going to be a thing. And yeah, she called me pretty continually the whole time that the whole thing was going on. And every call, I'm like, you say, what happened? And, Steve
Yeah.
called the ambulance. Or I'd say, what? And then, I mean, it was just a lot of stuff. So I'm anxious to hear her share her perspective, because she was all alone without her son as her normal crutch to take care of her. And she said,
Yeah.
everybody took care of me, Pam. I'm like, oh, beautiful. So her
Talk-
story too on Wednesday is going to be amazing. Yeah.
I mean, talk about a comfort zone switch,
Yeah.
a comfort zone shift. That was a big one. Everybody was having their own, and that was another huge and different one. And you never you don't know what you're capable of doing until you try.
Yep. And it's living proof that there's room for everybody at the table for DDPY.
Yep.
We all have such different backgrounds and so many different challenges, but when we
Yep.
come together, it's like, well, yeah, what's your thing? Good. I'll cheer you on, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Meet you where you are,
Yep.
and it takes you where you want to go.
Exactly. Well, love you guys. Thank you so much for giving us just a little glimpse of what that journey was like for you. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.